meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome and thanks for coming to the regular meeting of the Greencastle School Board for February 2022. First item on the agenda is adjustments to the agenda. Mr. Gibney.
Yep, I don't have any adjustments to the agenda for this month.
Okay. Next item is public comments regarding agenda items. Does anyone have anything to say regarding an agenda item? Okay, hearing none, moving on. Next item is recognitions. Mr. Gibney.
Yep, let's begin with Mr. McHugh in Deer Meadow.
All right, I'd like to introduce you to Anara Pettit. Anara is a kindergartner in Jessica Stockton's room, and I'd like to share what Mrs. Stockton shared for our Student of the Month, Anara. I'm nominating Anara because she's a great example of what hard work looks like. She's a hard worker, always trying her best. She's also a great example of a leader. She always models how to be a leader, and I can count on her to do the right thing. And another teacher added, Anara is a good friend who likes to help others. She's respectful to her classmates and adults. Anara Pettit.
We have a backdrop, a Greencastle backdrop for photos. Mrs. Johnson.
Pretend I have a cute little girl. Just kidding. Our Red Pass Students of the Month is Elliot Wright. Unfortunately, she has a prior commitment on Monday, so she's not able to be here. She was nominated by 2 staff members just this past week. Mrs. Heighthouse nominates Elliot Wright because she shows great effort in reading and math. She's very respectful of others, and she is learning and models good choices for students that struggle to follow classroom rules. Mrs. Miller states that she also agrees with Mrs. Heighthouse, and Elliot is the true definition of perseverance, so she works super hard. So Elliot Wright is our student.
Very good. Mrs. Rhodes or Mrs. Aswell?
So TZ's Student of the Month is Miss Sophie Cole. Sophie is a 3rd grader in Mrs. Miller's class. And Mrs. Miller has written, Sophie is a delight to have in our classroom. She is always helpful and encouraging to others. Sophie is a conscientious, hardworking student. She consistently completes her homework and readily grasps new concepts and ideas. Sophie is a creative thinker and is thoughtful towards others at all times. And I think Mrs. Asbell and I would both second that she is a just fabulous student, always with a smile, always with a hug or a high five, and we know we can count on her to help anyone in the class that needs it. So, Sophie Cole.
But is Rachel Hebert. She's a very dedicated and kind student. She has intrinsic drive to do well. She encourages others to succeed. Rachel is always willing to put the work in even when it takes her a while to learn something new. I'm so happy she's coming out of her shell and becoming a leader in her grade. Mrs. Nicklash says Rachel's always on task and doing exactly what she should be. She's kind to others and responsible and respectful in every way. She's a wonderful and bright young person who is dependable and true delight to have as a student. And Mrs. Smith says Rachel's a great student, awesome student council member. She's very hardworking in class and is always willing to participate.
We also do not have a student here from high school, but our student of the month is Addison Edwards, and our character trait was trustworthiness. And so one of our teachers has said that Addison Edwards is a student of the month for trustworthiness because she is always someone that can be counted on. She always makes sure little details are taken care of, and she'll show up to volunteer with any classroom prep. Addison is one of the most reliable students that she knows. So congratulations to Addison, and we'll get pictures later on. And I also have one other thing. We had a special donation, and our physics and chemistry teacher, Ms. Fennerty, shared this, that Tallgrass Energy in Bainbridge donated a complete classroom set of soldering irons, complete with solder, extra tips, and individual carrying cases to the Greencastle High School physics program. That donation was made possible by the generosity from the operations supervisor, Nate Mackey, not named after Mackey Arena, but I got to put that plug in, go Boilers, and one of our physics parents who works there, Robert Paposi. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda, which consists of meeting minutes from January 24th, a regular board meeting, January 24th, annual Board of Finance meeting, February 9th, board work session, and February 14th, special board meeting minutes. The allowance of claims, the financial report, and the personnel reports, part 1 and 2, which are posted on the door and on the school website.
I'll make a motion they be approved.
Let's hear from Kelly.
Are you ready to start? Here we go. We'll go ahead and start with our finance packet here. There was 2 regular payrolls in the month of January. January 7th for a total payroll of $341,125.46. And as usual, we also have our taxes and retirement that we pay out for each payroll. The January 7th payroll total taxes and retirement, $99,769.89. The second regular payroll was dated January 21st of 2022 for a total payroll of $411,716.48. And along with that came the payroll taxes and retirement, total of $117,942.79. Did anyone have any questions about the payrolls for January? Okay, well, we'll go ahead and move on to some prepays here. These will be prepays dated January 1 through January 31st of 2022. I just want to point out 5 prepays that we did that were not typical, that you will not see every month, and that would be for our debt service and pension payments that we do in January and July each year. So you'll see that our total prepays for the month of January 2022 are exceptionally higher than normal. Total prepays, $1,801,687.92. Did anyone have any questions about that? Okay. All right, and then we've got some claims that are dated today, February 28th, 2022. Was there anything on this list that anyone had any questions about?
I did not see anything.
Okay. All right, so we've got total regular claims dated today, $228,017.96. And are we ready to go ahead and move on to the fund report?
Sure.
All right. All right, fund report ending January 31st, 2022, ending balance in education fund, $2,016,365.51. In operations, you'll see there it's the 4th one down, fund 300. A total ending balance of $1,502,832.87. Total for all funds on the last page, page 5, is $7,209,420.98. Next in your finance packet, you'll see the depository statement, balance at all banks at the end of January 2022. You'll see less outstanding checks there for Bank 10. And then you're also going to see an outstanding deposit there this month. So if you look at that ending balance, January fund balance for all bank balances, you'll see that that number is identical to fund balances on the fund report. And then lastly, you'll see expenditures that were paid in February 2022 out of bond 2021. Total expenditures equaled $300,249.47. Added to the balance forward from July 21st through January 2022, our total expenditures paid out of bond 2021 is $3,176,316.28. And pending no questions, I'd like to recommend for approval.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
Yes, so moved.
I'll second it.
Excuse me, I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is reports. First, we have the Assistant Superintendent's report. Dr. Ford.
Yeah, so I gave you one of these, so if you want to pull out this little packet of some data, a few times a year I like to share some assessment data with you. So in February, we look at our NWEA data. If you remember that NWEA is the only assessment that we give from K to high school. So K to 10 takes this 3 times a year. So what we're looking at right now on page 1, we're first going to look at the scores from the fall so that you can compare that to the winter. So page 1 here, and if you want to kind of just ignore the table at the top and just check out the graphic, it's much simpler. So you have your grade levels, and the orange diamond there is actually the benchmark that we're trying to hit, and this is just measuring growth. So you can see where we hit our goal for growth and where we didn't hit our goal for growth. So that first page is math. You can quickly flip over and look at the language arts, see where we are with there. Again, we want to try to hit that orange diamond area of growth, and that's from the fall. If you flip over to page 3, this is winter. So this is what the students just took last month. So then you can see the improvements and the gain from there. So every grade level then did hit their benchmarks as compared to fall, so that's great. And then our high school does not take winter testing since they have so much other testing going on. They don't want to lose that instructional time. And so for math and both for language arts, all grade levels hit their growth, which is great. So I like that just because it's a quick snapshot. It's easy to see just a district-wide look at where everyone is. So just wanted to share that with you also. I also wanted to share some other upcoming, we're getting into testing season. So I wanted to share with you some of our upcoming assessments that are happening. So we have our SATs happening for our juniors coming up. Then we have our IRE 3, which is for our 3rd graders, and that window opens in March 7th. So as we know, that's the reading proficiency in the state for 3rd graders. However, there's a change to that this year. So the DOE opened that up for 2nd graders. So school districts could opt in if we wanted to allow our 2nd graders to take that. It's still the 3rd grade test, but we can opt in to use that as a different data point. We already have plenty of data on our K2 students, and we didn't want to give up that instructional time and give them more testing. The only benefit that some teachers are seeing with that is that they can kind of prepare, the 2nd grade teachers can see what the test looks like in order to help prep their students a little bit more. But we didn't feel like that was beneficial enough to give up that instructional time. Also, even if our 2nd graders pass, they're still going to have to take the same assessment in 3rd grade. They'll just take an abbreviated version. So some of our neighbors also opted out. Cloverdale and Clay City also opted out. However, they were just contacted by the DOE and told that they will be taking it because they need the data sample. So our prediction is that this is just kind of one step closer to moving towards standardized testing for 2nd graders, and they need that baseline data. So that's my prediction of where and why that's happening. But Greencastle did not opt into that 2nd grade, and fortunately, we were not told that we were going to do that. So that's good. So we'll see what the future brings for that. Also, we have a different high ability testing platform that we're going to be using. It will be all digital. We'll get the results back really quickly, and we screen for high ability for kindergarten, 2nd, and 5th grade. So that will be happening the month of March before spring break. So we're excited about that. And then good old iLearn for our grades 3 through 8 testing will happen in April. So everybody's getting revving up for all of the testing. We will be requesting approval tonight on our summer school, so I just wanted to give you some more information on what that will look like. So our elementary and our middle school last year, if you remember, we tried a jump start. So we did it right before school started in July. We didn't see any significance in the data changing doing a jump start. You know, it's just something else let's try as a different strategy. So we didn't see that being any benefit to that. So we're gonna go back this year just to doing a June summer school for K-8 that will run concurrent with our high school programs. So elementary, we will have approximately 75 students, or we're going to invite 75 students of our current K to 4th grade, and that will be a 2-week program. Also, our middle school, we're excited. Mr. Watts has some really great ideas and things that he wants to try differently. So our middle school approach will be a summer camp style in computer science, utilizing our Fab Lab. So we're going to open that up to current 4th through 7th graders, and whoever's interested in that. And so they're going to have the opportunity to come for 2 weeks and learn how to use all of the equipment, create some cool projects, and we're going to be able to build up some leaders in our students that will be able to kind of generate excitement and stuff throughout the student body in the fall. I think that's a great, exciting strategy, so we're excited about that. And then the high school will continue to run their credit recovery and a variety of courses for in-person and online. So a lot to get ready for this summer.
Great.
Busy time.
Thank you. Next is Superintendent's report, Mr. Gibney.
Yeah, so just a few things this month. Obviously, February, we know that we have the second count day of the year, which can impact school funding. Our February count, we're at 1,744 students, so that's down 29 students from the fall. But typically, you know, schools do see that's not drastically different than any statewide trend. You have early graduates, you have some dropouts, you have some families that move. While we did lose students, it's nothing that's catastrophic. We do have a rather small junior and senior class. I expect those numbers to hopefully increase come next fall with replacing a smaller outgoing class with hopefully another really big group of kindergartners. And on that topic, we're going to have kindergarten Roundup April 12th and 14th from 3 to 7 at Path and Deer Meadow. So we're excited to get that out and get those kids excited and used to our buildings. Alongside that, we'll also get out our registration for our preschool program to hopefully build on that in year 2, as this is really kind of the first year of having the community style preschool program. Continuing to work the best we can on returning to pre-pandemic policies and procedures. Obviously, we saw the lifting of the mask mandate during the school day, and then obviously beginning today, we rolled back the requirement of masks on the school buses based on the update from the CDC. We have also had a high school student, Olivia Headley, finished 20th in the state in, I think it was the 50 freestyle competition, and that's a significant accomplishment for her and based on a lot of the athletes that she competed against, so I wanted to mention that. And then this past weekend, I think it was there were 12 students that attended the ISMA solo ensemble, the ISMA competition, and all 12 students earned gold. So which takes a lot of hard work, a lot of time and dedication by students and Mrs. Munoz, so that was a really awesome thing. We're moving forwards with the building project, obviously, in February, still February. Earlier this month, obviously, we awarded a contract. They're going to mobilize beginning in April, but we have a meeting scheduled for March 10th with Weddle Brothers Construction, and we hope to learn more then, or we will learn more then, about the sequencing or phasing of the project at the high school and how we may be disrupted here at the end of the year, and obviously moving forwards, we're going to have to be flexible and make adjustments with our spaces and get used to doing things different and knowing the outcome of long term. Have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow with Graber Brothers on our new maintenance storage building over at the Transportation Center. We've approved that contract already, and obviously expect to break grounds hopefully soon, so that we can work in getting maintenance out of the high school footprint. And then obviously the final thing, March 18th through 25th is our spring break. So that's the Friday before, and then the Monday through Wednesday. I know everyone's been working really hard, and I think a lot of people are probably looking forward to that time to recharge their batteries for the final spring. So that's all I have, just a few updates for this month.
Okay, great. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is old business, and we have no old business, so we move to new business. The first thing is an approval request for the 2022-23 Occupational Services contract.
Yep, so as is customary this time of year, Mrs. Sullivan has submitted her recommendation to continue with Mrs. Reel for next school year. Her rate will remain the same as it is currently, and she'll work 12 to 14 hours a week average next school year and be paid for out of our federal grant. It's my recommendation that the board approve this request as presented.
Make a motion to
We have a motion, can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next is an approval request for the 2022 summer school.
Yep, so I won't say a whole lot because Jenny, or Dr. French shared this information earlier. But in your board packet, you saw the financial commitment of those programs. Of course, we'll submit that to the DOE and they reimburse at a rate of 105%. And so it's my recommendation that the board approve our summer school request, and then we can begin filling all of those slots and advertising that information.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I'll second that.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is an approval request for authorization to advertise notice of a public hearing for building projects.
Yep. As we discussed at our last board meeting, when we awarded the construction contract, bids came back, higher than expected. We've made adjustments and eliminated the off-site baseball and softball fields as a result of the project. Really, we're going to focus in on finishing off the high school project the way it should be completed, while also protecting the other projects. And after hearing from the community, there's a lot of excitement around that and support of that. And so we have to hold a public hearing for some financing to complete that work. And so all this is authorization to advertise the notice of a public hearing in March, and then a second one at our regular March meeting.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for that.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next item is an approval request for an interlocal agreement between the City of Greencastle and Greencastle Community School Corporation.
Yep, so, I've been working with, Mr. Shields, and actually Mr. Shields has been working with a couple of, young ladies in the high school, and I know I'm gonna mispronounce their name. I believe it's Cadence Shaner and Madison Voorhees. They had an opportunity to, they're in Mr. Shields' class at the high school, and they had an opportunity to visit the Fab Lab at the middle school. And they really enjoyed what they saw, and their question is they would like to have something like that at the high school to to continue to enhance the type of education that they receive there. So Mr. Shields and the girls worked on a proposal to present to the redevelopment commission. So the Greencastle Redevelopment Commission funded our middle school lab at roughly $197,000 investment for equipment and ongoing training and support. And so the girls made their presentation. It was last Wednesday, and the Greencastle Redevelopment Commission would like to fund this endeavor at an amount of $195,000. So this will go to essentially kind of adding in some tools and repurposing some of the existing tools in our what's the old wood shop, and adding in some the CNC router, and adding in some 3D printers and laser cutters, and we'll continue just to kind of build the program up and offer teachers and students that choose to use that equipment just additional capabilities. So we're very proud of the girls for making that presentation, but then obviously also want to extend thanks to the Redevelopment Commission for funding this endeavor and initiative. And so what we have, just like last time, is that interlocal agreement just lays out the contractor expectations of moving forwards. So it's my recommendation that the board approve that interlocal agreement.
Absolutely.
Second. So moved.
And second. So, okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda is approval request for some donations. One from Beech Grove United Methodist Church to Tizonacus Intermediate in the amount of $600. And the second being Kathleen Russell to Greencastle High School DECA Club in the amount of $500. Can I get a motion to approve those?
Yeah, make a motion to approve. Absolutely, I'll second that.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you for those.
Yes, absolutely. Last thing on the agenda is other business. Does anyone have any other business to bring up?
I just want to say, I think it's really, really cool that the two young ladies were able to make that presentation and do that. I mean, it's a great thing with our community, but it's really awesome to see two young people, stand up and do that. So
Yep.
Kudos.
Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, the last item on the agenda is adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
second.
Okay, motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Be careful going home.
Thank you.